People be lying every day, B, but not this one. She legal, she hype, and it's time to believe the hype. What up, yo?
What's up?
Yo, it is dope to actually have you in the studio this time around.
Yes.
And, yo, we're here for this energy. Now, a lot to unpack. Where you want to start, Lo?
So let's first start with R.Kelly, because there's a lot of things going on in the space of R.Kelly. We know he was sentenced to 30 years just a couple weeks ago. But they're saying that, he's now engaged and he put in an appeal. So how likely is it that they're going to get to have their honeymoon outside of those prison walls?
Okay, so boom. No time soon, to be honest with you. Appeals take a long time to process.
But it happened for Bill Cosby, right?
Yeah, but his was under different circumstances, right? It
Yeah.
wasn't actually an appeal. They found some things that the prosecutor did wrong, right? There was something in the paperwork with Bill Cosby, so that's why his moved faster. But with R. Kelly, it's really not even clear what he's appealing right now, right? So that's the one thing. But the process takes a very long time.
Right.
So it may not be no time soon that he's outside of them walls.
Wow.
And he's still got a whole nother case he's waiting to get tried for. as
in
well.
Chicago, right?
Yeah.
And what are the chances of, if he is found guilty of the Chicago crimes, them running the time concurrently? Or you think they're going to stack it like a Jenga tower?
It depends on the judge, right? Like, however the judge want to run it, they could do that. But he got that Fed time, so he going to do the Fed time for sure first.
Day for day?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What? Fed time every day. Damn. Yeah, it ain't no shortcuts with the feds.
Well, let's switch gears and talk about NBA YoungBoy, who they trying to put in a similar space, minus the girls, man. Random gun charges they trying to plant on the boy. How's it looking over there?
Okay, so boom. So apparently they did not see his fingerprints, or they didn't test for the fingerprints on the gun, so the judge threw it out, which is good for him if it's a gun charge, right? Because if
Right.
just like the glove, if a glove don't fit, you must acquit. So
Right.
if you can't put your fingers on that gun, there's who's to say who shot it and who it belonged to.
Which I thought was a little weird, only because they always say the feds have a 99% winning chance, and NBA YoungBoy has a second case that's exactly the same but in a different state. So will he get that lucky on the second go around if the first one was slim to none?
Okay, so boom, it depends, right? Because you're going from the feds to the state, right? So that's totally different jurisdiction with the judges. But this is the thing. Now that prosecutor is put up on game about what may be missing from this trial, right? So they're watching that to see what's going on.
Right.
And they're going to be like, okay, so you didn't test that. Let me make sure I get on top of that. So by the time his case comes to me, we can go ahead and have that figured out before the situation even gets there.
Right.
So you feel like you could flip the script and maybe sue civilly? Because, you have me locked up over here, and you didn't do your due diligence to even, see if I was even worthy of being brought up on these charges.
I mean, you can't just sue civilly if you're not wrongfully convicted, right?
Yeah.
But
if
the
you're
inconvenience, right? The time out that you got to take to deal with this nonsense.
He was in that car with that gun, though.
If you wasn't out there cutting up, you wouldn't be on timeout.
Oh, the gun didn't come with the car?
No, I don't believe so.
Damn.
Neither cars.
Right. Or the jewelry.
All right, well, with the police right now, we know that something that has been getting a lot of them caught up and in trouble are the bystanders that happen to be around when things happen, and they take their phone out and they film. The other day, we saw Styles P come to the aid of a woman who was unarmed. They were violently throwing her down, but there was somebody recording the whole entire time. Now, Arizona has recently passed a bill that said that you cannot record a police officer up to 8 feet. How the hell can they get away with this, and what can we do to protect ourselves?
Okay, so boom. So that is now their state law in Arizona. So basically the argument for that was that, with bystanders getting in the way, it puts the police officers at risk. Maybe, a suspect may get away, or, the police might get distracted because of the chaos. So they want the public basically to stay at least 8 feet away so that they're not interfering with the arrest.
Right.
Long story short. So to protect yourself, I mean, we can always vote it out, right? You can always go to your legislators, your state legislators, and be like, we're not cool with that. But the reality is, when chilled in, stay below the gun line. alone.
Got you.
Wow.
And it seems like it's one of those things that sounds worse than it really is, because like you don't want to be all the way in the fray yourself either. And the zoom is impeccable on these new phones.
And that's been the argument, right? Like, we can zoom in. Some people are concerned with audio, right? Some people are concerned with, well, your body cam's not on, or whatever the case may be. For the most part, it's mostly about officer safety, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if you see something recorded, it's probably going to go to the Supreme Court, because you're thinking about being in a public place, right? You're putting restrictions on people's freedom of speech, essentially, right? You're infringing on
that's the First Amendment right.
Exactly. So, and you have a right to record, right?
Yeah.
And so I know there's something in the statute where if you're on like private property or something
Yeah,
like that,
I saw
it's not
that.
the same,
Yeah.
right? But even in a public space, it's different, like to infringe on someone's right like that. So we'll see it probably go up to the Supreme Court to decide whether or not it's going to hold. But for right now, you stay 8 feet.
Oh, wow.
Back, give me 8 feet.
That's crazy. And who's to say that they won't lie and say that 10 feet was 8? You know what I mean?
Yeah, they changed the goal line to meet the argument that they're trying to make in the moment all the time.
Right. And if it wasn't for the video footage, George Floyd's
Yes.
killers would have never been found convicted or whatever. So that's a little sketchy right there. I
Yep.
think we should be able to record. That's not right.
And the crazy thing is, like, you looked at how it worked in this case of George Floyd, but there was other killings caught on tape where, like, the footage didn't even help. I mean, even going back to Rodney King.
Yeah,
Yo!
Rodney
We
King.
thought all those cops was going down because there was nothing that justified that level of brutality, And granted, he got broken off for it, but I'm sure he wished he didn't get broken down to get broken off,
For sure. But thank God somebody even recorded it so he could have that footage for the civil case. You know what I mean? So keep recording, right? And 8 feet is a long distance.
Yeah,
but
you can't see them now.
But do you think
it's like 2 Kevin Harts.
You better have an iPhone that you can zoom in on.
Sure, yeah, use that zoom. Be ready.
Yeah.
Be camera ready for
Damn, man, they grimy.
Yeah.
Well, yo, appreciate the deets as always.
Of course.
Are you having a hot girl summer legally hype?
It's hot for sure. I'm gonna tell you right now, this little humidity out here.
Oh, yeah, it's
Atlanta
hot.
got my leave out. It's disrespecting my leave out
You
for real.
silly.
Yeah, for real. Sure, it's hot.
Well, yo, man, appreciate you pulling up on us in
Of
real
course,
time.
of
If people want to follow you, tap in, where do they go?
I am legally hype on all social media platforms: TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Follow me. Holla at me.
It's still hot outside. You got the Okay So Boom tank tops?
Okay, show boom. They coming. We working on new merch right now. So it's coming soon though.
All right, she's serving the world, man, one time for Legally High.
Thank you.
We are the morning hustle.